morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome.
Hey, Kim.
So
Hi, Lynette.
lovely. So lovely. Hey, how are you? As you know, this is Positive Prime's weekly group coaching guidance class session treatment area where I do a little bit of energy work, a little bit of Q&A. I'm from the era where there was agony aunt, so I'm here to answer your questions. Do feel free to come on out. I'm absolutely all yours for half an hour. Sometimes I do a little quick overview of the Positive Prime platform, explaining the what, when, where, why, how. Sometimes I simply just address somebody's questions, somebody's issues, somebody's challenges. What should we do today? Mahara, why don't you come out and tell us, what's one thing you would like me to address today?
Well, thank you, everybody. I do have a question, which is it possible to program your sessions? Like I've got for example, I've got a gazillion favorites, but I typically listen to 10, one right after the other, 3 minutes at a time. Is it possible to program it so that I'm like, okay, I'm feeling in the mood for this at 3 minutes, and then have it all go together so that I'm not stopping every 3 minutes and redoing the test and choosing another one? This is just dreaming here. Just thought I'd put it out there.
You know, Mahara, that's actually a fantastic question. It's also a great suggestion. Could I encourage you then to do something that might suit you? So just trial it, and that's watch super mixes. So I'm going to give you an example, right? If I was playing this session and I paused it, now what I'll actually do is I'll show you exactly where to find super mixes. And super mixes are several sessions that are combined, and as you watch them, they're mixed and merged. And they're a fabulous way to watch several different pieces of content and not have to start and stop and start and stop and start and stop. In fact, super mixes were developed because I am very much like you. Whoa! let me just start screen sharing again here. Bear with me. Okay, so we're at our dashboard, and let's just say I go over here to the search area and I say super mix. See, super. Look, health is wealth, financial mastery, modulating your immune system, emotional healing, business success, direct sales success. Okay, so let's just say I wanted emotional healing. Well, emotional healing is a particular super mix that I would recommend that you do personalize. You definitely want to personalize these super mixes. You want lots of photographs of yourself, maybe your pets, anything that's really significant and meaningful to you. Go and take photographs of gifts that you've been given, upload those. Take photographs of your favorite flower or your favorite plant in your garden and upload photographs of those. So I'm just going to show you something here. We'll go a little bit faster. All right, now I'll go slowly. So this particular super mix has mixed and merged within it several different sessions. At least 5 in all cases of a super mix. Now, Mahara, what actually happens for see, this one's Inside Out, Elizabeth Bradley's. This is Sherry Gaber's. This is one I've done, Allowing, Surrendering, and Letting Go. So instead of watching those 3 sessions, like this particular, A Journey Through Grief, and that could be big G or little g. When we lose a job or we lose an opportunity or we lose a client, it's actually a little baby, little g grief, right? So I actually watch this session every now and again, probably more regularly than most people, because I actually do think that when we are outrageously fabulous and entrepreneurs, we're on these journeys where there's like a million tiny little cuts every day, like paper cuts, because that's being an entrepreneur. Like there's constant challenges and issues that you've got to overcome or rise up over. So me going through this emotional healing, transcending trauma, little t or big T, I think is all of us have been through trauma. We can't have got to our 20s or our 30s or our 40s or our 50s without a significant amount of trauma. I do actually really love that Sherry's is also in here. Sherry Gaber is an addictions expert. She's an extraordinary psychotherapist. I absolutely think that she's amazing. She's done incredible things with her career. And so her wisdom, her insights, her suggestions, her recommendations, her words in her session, I actually do want to consume. They're like each one of these positive prime sessions, I feel like is a different nutrient. So it's almost like I've got, you know, this fabulous juice with lots of different ingredients, but in this case, it's emotional and mental ingredients. So a super mix is your best bet. Now, back to what happens with our annual members on their first birthday. Our annual members on their first birthday get a gift, and they get to create their own super mix. It's their own personal super mix based upon their favorite sessions. And so Mayumi and her team, they keep note of when your first birthday is, and they give you a gift, and they basically say, hey, we've just seen that your payments come through for your first year's renewal if you're on an annual subscription, or indeed it's your 12th payment. Now you get to create your own super mix. We do actually also create super mixes. So you might already be at that stage where you've got 10 of your favorites and you want your own super mix and you actually want it to load up. And that is part of what we call our concierge service. And so every single time you want our concierge service, it's $49. And so you can have a super mix created by Mayumi for $49. And all you need to do is actually get in touch with us at support@positiveprime.com and say, hey, I want the concierge service to actually create my own personal super mix just for me. It'll be in my account only. It's private, it's secure, it's personal. These are my 10 favorite sessions. What I am going to say to you about super mixes though, and this is really interesting for the people amongst us who love tracking things. Sometimes you don't get to watch all of a super mix, which means that an entire session won't be measured on that particular day. Do you know what I mean? Like if you've got a super mix that'll take you an hour, but you only watch the first 10 minutes of it and then you press pause and then you go off and do something else and then you come back the next day, that might not count. So if you care about your streaks and the number of sessions that you've watched, now I personally don't, because I really love my personal super mix. My personal super mix is phenomenal. Woo! It's got 9,000 personal images in it. And every single time I see one of those images that is part of my bucket list or my dream board or my wishes, my desires, and all, it's like my entire gratitude journal all in one. And so I see that and I go, yes, or thank you, and yes, or thank you. Every time I see the photograph of a resort that I want to go to, or a vacation I want to be on, or a cruise ship that I want to be on, a destination I want to see, and I've got these fantastic photos, I'll say yes to that. And every single time I see something that would be from my gratitude journal, I just say thank you. For my friends, my family. I mean, I've got images of everything. Everything. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay. All righty. Somebody else has a question. You got uploaded. Yeah, you did 100. Good on you. Do you know what? 100 is better than 10. It's better than 1. Much better. Okay, so I can see Edwina's here. I can see Lynn's here. Hello, Lynn. I can see Mary Lee's here and Julie's here. Leslie's here. Any other questions? And do you find this valuable? Dropping in for half an hour once a week. Good on you. All righty. Anything else you really want to know? Do you know one of the things that's been happening for me? I'm going to share this with you. I'll just go on a little tour if you like. I've been needing to surrender and let go a lot more. Now, this is included, as you saw, in that emotional super mix. So in that emotional super mix, surrendering and letting go. But I actually might just want to play surrendering and letting go in and of and by itself. Just to recap, the faster you watch it, the more easily your super consciousness absorbs the messages, and the easier it is for your identity to adopt it. There's a whole heap of science around that as to how and why. I'll give you one little example, and it's kind of like the self-fulfilling prophecies and the Pygmalion effect rolled into one. If someone told me that I was really great at mathematics as a child, I will spend the rest of my life actually gathering evidence to prove that to myself, and I then become excellent at maths, right? If someone says to you, wow, you're such an amazing speaker, you actually spend the rest of your life gathering evidence to prove to yourself that you are right. We as human beings have an insatiable appetite to be right. An absolutely insatiable appetite to be right. And so when somebody says something like that to us, if we loved, admired, adored, respected, cherished, if we held that person in a position of authority or power, we actually adopted what they said much more easily, right? So sometimes when we want to really change what we think about ourselves, we want to adopt different beliefs that we then live into. We need to actually see those statements, maybe even read them out aloud. I am becoming. I am eternal. And you will live into being eternal because you're like, seriously, your mind, your brain, your body, your beingness goes in search of evidence to prove that that is true, because we need to be right about the things that we believe. And I don't go around saying I am eternal all the time. In fact, it probably hasn't even occurred to me in the last 10 days, maybe even in the last 365 days. In fact, maybe it's never even occurred to me that I am eternal. Or maybe I'm not taking a breath in and exhaling in this particular moment as if I am eternal, as if I actually do understand that I am energy. I'm an energy being. I am eternal. And maybe I would behave differently if in this moment I accepted that I am eternal. Well, the faster I view a session, the less that part of my brain that wants to argue with everything and resist everything, it gets out of the way. And so I can actually have these messages bypass those factors that usually judge, mostly critically judge, and keep out anything new and unfamiliar into our awareness. And at speed, we don't really do that. But our brain is taking in 11 million bits of information per second from all of the different senses. And we, based upon our reticular activating system, based upon what we decided is important to us, we actually attenuate to about 40 bits of information per second. It's a lot. It's a lot. No wonder we're all exhausted. Too funny, huh? Okay, I can actually see Mary Lee's hands up. Mary Lee, would you like to ask a question?
Can you hear me, Kim?
Can indeed.
Oh, so nice to see you as always, and everybody else. Kim, can you talk a little bit more about personalizing the sessions? I hear you talk about this all the time. I still struggle. I think some of it is technical on my end, but you talk about having, thousands of images. Like when you personalize a session, do you click select all? I mean, how do I do that?
Okay, that's a great question. So this is a brand new session that's just been released this week by Laura Davis. She's a fantastic executive coach. She mostly works in large organizations and mostly with executives and managers and so forth. So let's just say I want to now personalize her session. Well, what happens is that it's now loading all of my personal sessions, personal photos. And can you see in here, I've got a whole heap of photographs. I was actually sent some beautiful flowers. So I took a photograph of some of the flowers up close. I went to a beautiful restaurant for dinner with my gorgeous spouse, the handsome Cameron. And then this is a friend of mine. She lives in Los Angeles. I went to college with her. So anyway, I have uploaded a photograph of her. And you can see I can go to page 2, and I was given this beautiful gift, and I have all these other personal photos that are all sorts of different reasons. Like these pink flowers you can see here, Cameron actually gave me these pink flowers. And so every single time I see that, I think, oh, I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I'm so blessed. And so, you know, the beautiful thing is every single time I send that message up to the universe goes, oh, wow, she appreciates gifts. Let's organize the circumstances, the situations, the resources, the people, the places so that she gets more gifts. That's what happens. That's the law of attraction. That's quantum physics at play, right? So you may as well take photographs of all the gifts you've ever been given and upload them into your positive prime session. So anyway, what do I do now? Well, let's just say I want all of these photos. I literally select all. And then I press play right up here. And what happens is that now this particular session has these particular photographs in it. In my super mix, yes, I have selected them all. Now, I'm lucky because here, if I go to my last page, this is a photo of me, this is a photo of me and Cameron. And if I go to my next page here, this is a photo of me and Marcy Scheimoff, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Women's Soul and Happy for No Reason. This is a photo of me and Jack Canfield, who wrote The Success Principles. Do you know we've got his session? Let's look up here, Jack Canfield. Where are you, Mr. Canfield? Look, most amazing session, Jack's session. Marcy Scheimoff has a session, Happy for No Reason. I was just in a meeting about a new project that I'm getting involved with Joe Vitale. Joe Vitale was also in The Secret. So those 3 people were in The Secret. And so let's just say I want to personalize this. I could go back and I could choose all or a few, some, but definitely photographs that feature me. I can do these 2. Can you see me actually doing this? That's because I'm in both of those photos. That's me. All right, now I'm going to go to page 2. I'm only going to get photographs of me. Oh, that's me. That's me. Let's go to the last page. That's me. And that's me and Cam. And that's me and my beautiful friend Brenda. And these are some of my favorite shells. I put them in a beautiful vase in my house, and I actually picked them up as a child in Papua New Guinea on the beaches in the South Pacific. And so maybe that's something that's super identified for me, right? So let's go here and now play the session. The point is, every single session has 1,000 frames. That's standard, 800 images and 200 phrases, mantras, you know, affirmations, afformations, instructions, pieces of advice, etc. So 800 images, 200 phrases, positive statements. You probably don't want to overpower a session with more than 1,000 of your own images. I would say that 100 or 200 is more than enough. What I would suggest that you do is you keep sending messages to the universe of the things that you want, the things that you deserve, the things that you're worthy of, the things that you are declaring are your goals. The more you do that, the more you're actually communicating with the universe. So the reason why I have 900 images per session is it's so easy for me to just select all on a page and then go to the next one and select all on a page and then go to the next one and select all on a page, right? So I can easily do that for 10 pages. And I have at least 9,000 photos because for a few years now, I've been uploading photos regularly because I am not done with telling the universe what it is that I want and need and desire. Right. I mean, this fabulous, delicious, gorgeous, exciting life has so much to offer. I want it all. And the other thing is that every single time I upload a photograph of something that's meaningful and significant to me, instead of me writing out in my journal, I'm so grateful for my niece, or I'm so grateful for my cat, or I'm so grateful for these gifts, because a picture is worth 1,000 words, and because we usually as human beings think in pictures, we are better to express our gratitude journal in pictures than in writing it down. Does that make sense? So
yeah,
quite frankly,
I love the part about the gratitude. That's really good. I'm going to go and do that.
okay, awesome.
Right, because I think that'll be good. But you have curated your pictures, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So
Absolutely.
like I had one in there that I wanted a part-time job, and then I decided I don't want a part-time job anymore. So I went and got rid of that one. So do you go in there and get rid of things?
Yes, and no. I mean,
Okay.
here's the reason why we can, Mary Lee, you'll understand this. Let's just say I wasn't with the love of my life. I might want to delete a whole heap of photographs of my spouse if he's no longer my spouse. Right. So deleting photos is a very good idea. I'm actually going to show you something exactly what I did. So I'm going to tell you something interesting. Sundays Beach Club. So interestingly enough, what I do is this is basically a beach club. It's in Bali, Indonesia. So I'm declaring with you more than I should. But anyway, it's actually owned by one of my friends from my college days, and it's in Bali, and it's absolutely fabulous. It's so incredibly hip and happening, and it's very exclusive, and it's like the A-listers celebrity set from Asia. Well, let's go here and let's see if I can do this one. Save as. Let me just see if this is also, it's a web page. It doesn't look like I can save a photograph here.
Kim, do a screenshot.
Oh yeah, but I want the stunning photo.
No, you screenshot it and then crop it, and it'll just be like the picture. Done.
Okay.
Now you save it to your photos or wherever.
But do you know, I just saw something weird. It says search for this image via Google Lens. Did you know that?
No.
Find source image.
Cool.
Good Lord, I never knew this.
I love that. The student teaching the teacher. That's awesome.
I know.
That's awesome.
Let's look at this.
Everybody's learning.
This is the photo.
Wow.
Okay, now let's go here. Now let's see if I can do this. Save image as Sundays. All right. So now let's go back to Positive Prime. And I'm going to go here to my gallery. Gallery. It's just, I've got to wait now for it to actually. Okay, so it's asking me to select this image. Can you see this now? Upload this image. Oh, I might be going a bit too fast for it. Bear with me. Upload the image. Alrighty, now let me go to, it's going to be at the end. So I'm actually just going to go back here and I'm going to put this image into this particular session. Let's see if it's here. In gallery, it goes from the very first I uploaded all the way to the end. And so it would take me quite a long time to get to the end. But in the other way that I access, it actually comes up first. So, dun, 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 dun. Look at that. Dun, 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 dun. I uploaded it twice. Now, obviously, I'm going to select all on this page. Every single time I see that image now, it is literally going to remind me of a couple of things. It's going to reinforce that I'm really great at manifesting my greatest desires. It's going to make me connect energetically with how much I love vacations in Bali. Is it more likely that I'm actually going to be in vibrational resonance with vacationing? Yeah. You watch the universe deliver to me more opportunities for me to vacation. That's how quantum physics works. And so it's the process of you uploading photographs. Now, yesterday I actually thought to myself, oh, let's go back over here. So we're at Sundays, right? So let's go down here and it tells you that you can go and stay here at the Ungasan. So let's do that. Let's view the accommodation. And this is where I'm going to be staying. I know. I'm lucky, right? So maybe one day you want to go to Bali and you also want to stay here. So what do? Look at this, infinity edge pool on the ocean. Now it says search images with Google Lens. Let's do that again, right? Okay, so then it says crop it. So I've just cropped. This is amazing. Google scares me and excites me and astonishes me. Okay, so obviously it's working on doing something. Look at that. Find source image. Look at this. Go click on this image as a large one. Look at that. Are you kidding? Right, now go right click, save image as. Bali bliss. Back to positive prime. Stop. Go click on dashboard. Are you all, see, you should all be following along and doing your own. Personalize, let's see. Upload, let's see. Bali's bliss. Let's go. Upload this image. Let's see it. Let's see it. It says, please be patient. Patience is not one of my virtues. Obviously, I need to go watch the patience session. Voila. All righty. When I see that image and I think, oh, thank you, 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 thank you to my angels. Right? Thank you, 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 thank you to this universal divine energy that helps us to create magically. Guess what happens? More miracles. I want more miracles for you too, right? And obviously, I listen to the little signs that I get. And so I clearly have to go and watch the patience session today because it just came up, right? So why don't you set yourself a target of at least one photograph a day? But if you miss a day, then do 2 photographs. Or if you miss 5 days, then do 5. Every single week, if you just spend the time and the energy in the process of clarifying some of the things that you want, that's you communicating with the divine. That's you actually clarifying what it is that you want. It's you focusing on what it is that you want, not what you don't want. That's half the battle, maybe even 90%. You get it. I know you do. Any other questions before we shuffle off? Oh, Mahara, you do have a question. Go.
Is it possible to see a list of the contributors? Because I would never have known that Jack Canfield was in there. So I'm just thinking if I could scroll an index of authors or index of contributors, like Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul author. You know what I mean? Just so I could quickly.
What an awesome idea. You and your suggestions, you'll have the developers and the software engineers and the programmers just going crazy for the next couple of weeks and months. Consider it done. It'll be part of what will happen. I think we should have an index. Thank you. We don't yet, but we will do.
Fabulous. And I just wanted one last comment. I know it's not the same as seeing the pictures, but I am doing this so much and loving it so much that I find myself singing the songs, humming the tunes. And then I'm like, ooh, da 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 da. So I'm just, guys, if you're new to it, thank the universe for bringing it into your life, because it really is life changing, and enjoy it as much as it's possible to enjoy it, because it's pretty cool.
I love that one that says happy. The one that's just happy. That one, that music, I'm just doing it. You know, I'm just going with that music.
It's great music.
It is. It really is.
Oh, thank you for saying that, ladies.
I love the music too, Kim. I'm so glad that all the sessions are different now. And sometimes I turn it on just to listen to the music.
Oh, I love that. I love that, love that, love that. We've got so many improvements coming too, like over the next 3 to 6 months, certainly over the next year to 2 years, you're going to see even more added to the Positive Prime platform. You're going to see it even better. You're going to see more functionality. You're going to see that you can do all sorts of interesting different things as well. So I'm pretty excited for where we're at. Look, no matter what, I suppose the bottom line is an actual Positive Prime session, the formula, you viewing it, you actually really don't have to do anything but press play. It works. From a scientific point of view, it is literally making your brain more effective and more efficient. And the way that it's helping some of the processes inside your brain communicate with your body, it's actually making you healthier. Now, that is scientific fact. Who wants to dive into the science? Should I give you some pages that you can go and have a look at for the science? Would that be interesting for you? Okay. All right. So bear with me. So we'll go to Positive Prime and we'll go to happiness. I'll start at happiness. Well, I'll start at happiness. And I'll put this link into the chat. Alrighty, so if you go to positiveprime.com/happiness/ you'll see one of my favorite people on the planet, Sean Acor. And I would highly recommend that you watch his TED Talk. It is phenomenal. Really and truly, it's amazing and entertaining. And you'll definitely feel better for watching his TED Talk. It was actually done a long time ago. Tens of millions of people have watched this. And this is what Sean basically says about a Positive Prime session. So it's a very short little video. There's a very long story about how Sean and his wife, Michelle, gave me an opportunity, and they requested that Positive Prime become the intervention in time inside their Science of Happiness course that they did with Oprah Winfrey. So to cut an extremely long story short, the Oprah Winfrey Network required objective third-party research on the efficacy of Positive Prime in order for it to be included in that Science of Happiness course inside the Oprah Winfrey Network. And to cut a long story short, this is actually the initial piece of research that they did. So now, beyond here, if you click down the bottom here to return to all elements, it's going to take you to a page, and I'm going to tell you there's some super groovy things. You could become an expert Positive Primer practitioner, affiliate, if you like, just because you will know as much as lots of other people. So I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to tell you something about this pre-conscious processing, and you're going to see that it opens up a new tab. And we'll let that load, but bear with me. There's another one down here I definitely want you to have a look at. let me go back here. All right. So basically, I was talking all about Sean and how he's a gorgeous human being. I was talking about his TED talk. I was talking about what he says about positive prime. And then this is actually a very short research statement. And then down here it says, return to your elements. So after you've been through all of that page, you can return to all elements. Let me literally get you the link and put it in here. And so after you scroll down here, you can go and see something like pre-conscious processing, or there's another one I'm going to show you in 1 second, right? So, fun. All right, but before we go to there, let's go over here because it's loaded. So I think that one of the really important things for you to do if you really want to understand exactly how positive prime works and why it works is that you go through some of these. So this is me with Dr. Paul Shealy. And Dr. Paul Shealy was the inventor of sonic access and paraliminals, and he was actually the coach. He was with Brandler, you know, NLP. So he literally specialized in hypnotherapy or hypnosis to begin with. Long story short, 3 decades later, Paul Shealy actually started something called the Transformational Leadership Council with a whole heap of people. It was actually Paul Shealy's events where The Secret, the movie, was started, right? So Rhonda Byrne, the producer of that film, filmed people like Jack Canfield at a TLC meeting. Anyway, this is Dr. Paul Shealy. Well, he is seriously a genius. And most people have never even heard of him. He should be more famous than everyone. He is the coach to people like to Bob Proctor. Let's hope he's resting in peace. I'm sure he is. Paul Shealy was the coach to people like Marcy Shimoff, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, some of the greats. So this is the man behind those people. Anyway, I went and stayed with him in Minneapolis for a couple of days and I showed him positive prime, and it's a very long story. So anyway, this is also what he says. And he's really one of the world's leading experts in pre-conscious processing. Phenomenal human being. So you'll find that by actually going to that happiness link and then going to this science link, and then each and every single one of the elements in the formula that is positive prime are all of these squares. And so then I clicked on fun, right? Well, this particular TED talk by Ingrid Fattel-Lee, when you watch that, you'll go, oh my golly gosh. When you watch a positive prime session, you'll understand why you see certain things. And more to the point, you'll understand what they're doing to you, right? So I think you definitely want to go and have a look at this particular TED talk. And so this would be like you coming to a workshop with me on a weekend. Let's just say I really want you to understand mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are in your brain. The retina in your eyes processes what you see, sends messages to your mirror neurons. Your mirror neuron sends messages to your endocrine system, and hormonally you produce more serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin. So the chemical cocktail inside your body changes. It's what brings about health benefits. So go and learn about mirror neurons if you don't already. And we have an incredible number of these resources available to you. And it's a good thing that you showed up here today, because now you know about them. Little happy dance, little thank you. Woo. All righty. So if you have never seen Amy Cuddy's work, you definitely want to go to this page on mirror neurons. If you've never seen, I mentioned this woman, Ingrid Fattel's, you definitely want to see that. If you don't know who Dr. Paul Shealy is, see, you're about to go on a journey, and then you'll go down a rabbit hole, and then we'll see you in a couple of years, you know. But I'm the kind of person that the more I understand about what's actually really going on, how is it going on, and why is it going on, I don't need anyone to convince me to watch Positive Prime. I understand each of the ingredients in the formula, and so I know what it's doing, right? I would love for you to know as well. Good plan? I know we've gone 15 minutes over. Any questions before we go? Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Happy to see me next week? Okay. Mwah. Love you all. Bye. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Mary Lee. Thank you, Edwina. Thank you, Mahara.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you,
lovely-
Kim.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Thank you for
Julie.
sharing.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Kim.
you.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Love you all. Ciao.